Hello everyone, I'm Rubber Ducky, DivenDerp in game, and in this video I'm going to show you how to open things like gates and doors and do other things with Lua from a construct not connected to the same core. So in this case, a ship that flies to a static construct that's got some gates and doors on it. Should be a fairly quick video, it's not too complex, but let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we want to do is add the ability from our ship to emit a signal out to talk to these things. So let's start with that. That's the simplest part. If you see under here, I've got a little emitter next to the databank. It is connected to the seat here. If I go into advanced, edit Lua script, you can see I've attached it here. I've named it emit. And so what we're going to do is we want to just be able to toggle these things with a button. You don't have to do it necessarily this way. I'm just a queen click way of doing it. As always, I encourage you guys to play with your own stuff and try different things, but we're going to look for action start. We're going to look for option 2, which for me is Alt F2, or sorry, Alt 2, not Alt F2. Okay. And now we're just going to go to emit dot, and we're going to go get the command. So go to codecs, scripting, element API, emitter unit, send. So this is what's going to let us send. Advanced Lua script. I can start option 2. And here, the channel we're going to send, so the channel that our receivers will need to be listening on to get a message, is just going to be chan 1, and you can call this anything. I'm just being simple here, calling it chan 1. And the message we're going to send out is toggle, because we're just going to do a very simple version of this. All right, and then we're also going to do system.print message emitted. All right, and all system.print does is print a message to the Lua channel, and it's just so we get a confirmation that something happened. Sometimes with things like this, where there's not an immediate display on a screen or something, you want to know that it emitted, or some kind of message. So we're just doing that. So hit apply. Now if I get in the seat, turn on the Lua channel here, which we're at. Oop. Get tab menu. Alt 2, message emitted. Awesome. So let's land. Make sure I'm not falling off here. Good, good, good. Move it up just a little bit. Alright, so now we need to hook up the receiver part. And I've already got this hooked up here. I've got a receiver here, a switch, and programming board, and to those things I have attached a door and a gate. Alright, so if I hit Alt, I think, one of these. So the way I have this hooked up is, and I'm not sure why it's not displaying the little line things, but when you have elements like the receivers and switches and stuff like that, you can program them with a little green bar. But there's also a little blue bar that comes out that indicates that it's going to send a signal. So how do I work this? When you emit a signal, it hits this thing, but instead of processing the message necessarily, the first time it hits, it's just going to turn the board off and not necessarily process the message. It seems weird and counterintuitive, but it's just the way it works. And the way I have it hooked up is when the receiver hits, if it goes straight to the board, it'll turn the board on, but then it'll immediately turn the board off because the message is processed so quickly that the board doesn't really have time to execute any code. So we need a way to keep the board on. So for that, we go from the receiver to a manual switch that then gets toggled on. And so the board stays on until we basically tell it to turn off. Now, trying to figure out why in the world it is not showing those little green lines. I feel like I'm missing something obvious here. Well, that's okay. We can do this the hard way. Oh, is it because I'm in the... There we go. Okay. I think I was in the wrong build sphere. Alright, so notice that there's a green line going to the receiver, meaning the receiver is hooked up to the programming board. It can be programmed. The blue line indicates that when the receiver gets its first message, it's going to activate the thing it's pointing at, which is the switch. The switch is also pointing at the board, which means that it will in return switch on the board there. But notice how it's kind of a light blue is going and arrows are going back and forth. It also means that it can also be programmed via the board. All right, perfect. The gates are hooked up, so let's go ahead here and get started. So advanced, edit Lua script. So the first thing we're going to do is when the board turns on, because we can't process the first message, and we only really want this board to do one thing, which is open and close doors. We're just going to do a start, and on start we're going to do, we have the door to gate there, so door dot yeah, we'll do toggle, and we'll also do gate dot toggle. Perfect. All right, and also when it stops, let's add another one. So on stop, so this is what fires when the board turns off. We're going to be door dot deactive. I can't spell. Deactivate, I think that's right. And gate to deactivate. And again, like these are just the doors and the gate I have hooked up to the board to program. And they use basically the same Lua. And then we need to go to receiver here and add in a new event. And we're going to do it on receive. And we're just going to say asterisk. Asterisk. And what this is I could say listen on channel 1. Listen on channel 1 for message open or message close. But instead, I can just do asterisk, and it'll just say for this event, any message I receive with any command or message to be emitted. So any channel I receive on any message that is emitted by that channel, I want you to do this. That's what this means. This is asterisk. And you can further filter. So I could do if crap, what is it? Well, we actually go look. So there's a way to filter these out here when you get the asterisk. So if I go to apply F1 receiver unit, and I go down to the receive event here, I can see that there are two things I'm going to have to work with. The channel, which is passed back, which is the channel that was received on, and the message that was received on that channel. So channel was that message. Advanced Lua script. Oh, here we go. I remember where I need to go. Receive if channel equal chan1, then in if message equal open, then else if message equal close. Need to make it a string. Make it a string. Close. Then end. Okay. And then I can go over here and do some action. And here do some action. So how this would go is whatever channel. So let's see, is the channel we're looking for. If the message in that channel is open, if the message is closed, then do some action. So here you open a door, close a door. We're not doing that here. I just want to show it to you in case you want to do that. This is something super simple here we're doing. But it does give you an idea of, like, you can add on the complexity of these. Like, I'm just giving you a starting stone. A starting place. Getting my analogies mixed up there. Alright. So, when you toggle, or when we receive a message, we're just going to toggle. So, door.toggle gate.toggle. Okay, apply. And now, assuming I did everything right, I should just be able to go over to my ship here. Get in a pilot seat. Let's get some out there. Hit F2. Yep, there we go. Toggle again. Close it. F2. 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 For as simple as this is, it's incredibly satisfying just to watch. Alright. Yeah, and so, like, it's completely talking to a construct either. You can add more to that, filter it. You could do things like turn lights, activate industry, make all kinds of different decisions. Like, really, when you get to mess with emitters and stuff, emitters, receivers, like, it opens the doors to you really a lot. And so this is just a very basic stepping stone. The things that really take home are how easy it is, the switch trick to keep the board activated, because again, if you just hook it up straight to a receiver, it's going to just turn the board on and immediately off. So you need to do a little switch trick up there I saw. And there are some other ways of doing this I've seen. This is just the one I know, and it's easy enough and works in most of the cases I've had to use it in. But there are other things you can do to keep a board on with a receiver. You can also add a receiver and a emitter in both ways, so the ship can have a transmitter and receiver, or an emitter and a receiver. Same with this, and they can talk back and forth to each other, pass data back. You can get really complex and really intricate in the things you do. But this is just a very simple example of a little useful tactic. I like the ability to talk to my constructs from my ships. I actually have plans to be able to create a script that'll let you read the data off of your mining units once that Lua gets, and depending on what the new mining unit Lua does when it gets released, the idea of you can just fly to your little outpost and just check on all your Lua things without ever have to leave your ship. Just get an idea of where they're at, so you can know which ones you need to mess with and which ones you don't. We'll see what gets released. But yeah, that's just a quick short video, a neat little function. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, like, comment, subscribe, the YouTube typical spiel. If you really enjoyed the videos, use my recruiter code so I get those sweet recruiter videos, or points, and I really appreciate it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Later.